Hi viewers, so here we are at Cure Foundation's Apollo Cancer Institute, and we are with none other than Dr. Vijayanandreddy, a great inspiration behind all the patients of the survivors, especially the survivors. They had their tales to tell and they have their special stories to share, and with that great momentum we are going to have an exclusive with Dr. Vijayanandreddy. Sir, welcome to our show, sir. So we would love to know the kind of initiative what you have started since so many years, and it took shape. Big kind of a launch happened. I am a cancer survivor, and then you had come out in Telugu version at the same time. Nenu cancer ni Jeyinchanu. It's been very inspiring. So could you tell us the stepping stone how it started?
When I started my career way back 30 years back, and when we started dealing with the patient, you see the fear of a patient who just walks into a clinic. Anybody at any age, the minute they are diagnosed of cancer, they think that's the end of their life. So it was very, very difficult. Even today, it's very difficult for any clinician to convince a patient that there is nothing to worry and there is a very high chance that they might get rid of the disease. But it's very difficult for the patient to take it. On the day when they are diagnosed with cancer, they only think of death. And to take out that fear from the patient, we were thinking what could be the best way to approach. We started a club called Freedom from Cancer Club, where we have volunteered, we have taken some patients who have been treated and cured of cancer, made them members of that club, and we have taken their numbers and we requested them to be available for the patients who are newly diagnosed of cancer, to chat with them, to talk to them. It was working well, reasonably well, but we thought, why don't we have a book compiled with the real life stories of these cancer survivors, of various cancer patients from head to toe. It could be brain tumor, throat cancer, whatever cancer that a patient has, who have been treated and we've been living a normal life. And if they share their stories, and then with that story, with a footnote by the treating cancer specialist, stating what is his experience in dealing with that patient, and what are the tips that the general public should take to prevent that particular cancer, to deal with that cancer, to diagnose that cancer, and how to take up that treatment when the treatment is going on. So each story, which is absolutely live, is a living example of that particular patient, that what went through their mind on the day of their diagnosis, which is a very common thing for every patient to have. So this patient who is newly diagnosed will experience the same and relate themselves with that kind of a story that is coming out. And then the journey, which is very, very important. There are so many patients who don't even fight the battle. They lose the battle before they fight. And if they listen to this patient's story, that they gone through chemotherapy, radiation treatment, surgery, and what are the problems that they faced and how they cope up with those problems, and how they could come out of those problems, it works wonders. And they have shared their personal experience, and these patients who are newly diagnosed can read that and understand how these things go on. There's nothing to be really worried and scared of. And these problems are temporary and they can come out of these problems. So that is how it works. So every cancer patient anywhere across the globe can read this book, relate themselves to that particular patient, and get the courage to fight the cancer. So that is the idea of compiling this book, these stories into one book, and various cancer patients. And this is one of its kind in the world, that no other book has got so many stories of different kinds of cancer patients. And I would say that that's the best thing that has happened in my life, to do this kind of a work, which is going to live life forever. And this kind of book can be ages ahead, would serve the purpose which I was thinking of.
When was the first book you launched? I Am a Cancer Survivor in English version? That
was the Penguin. Penguin, again, one of the patient was a Penguin publisher and was related to them, and they were so inspired looking at this concept, and they have, on a compassionate grounds, they have done it completely free of cost. And September 2017 was the 2 years back that we got this done, and that was the best-selling book in that year. And even now it is available in Amazon and everywhere. And then our own people say in Andhra Pradesh, again one of my patients said, sir, most of the people who who are known to you are from Telugu states, and why don't we do it in Telugu? So I like that idea, and we could do it in 3 months' time.
We feel from AIBIZ News that this is a great step towards, completely curing cancer patients and giving them also new life. So we feel not just in Andhra Pradesh and or maybe Telangana, but all over India, or possibly like lots of NRIs, as you also talked to about that there's an NRIs experience also. So we feel we have to create a lot of awareness among this. So definitely we would love to get in touch with more kind of interviews, and at the same time it should be like every quarterly kind of information and awareness we would love to do. So what Apollo Cancer Institute would be initiating, and which in fact they must have been already doing it. So what has been the kind of initiatives you're planning for the future?
So this kind of, I am a survivor, you have a World Cancer Survivors Day, and we do programs for sure every year on that day, and also World Cancer Day, which comes in February. So on World Cancer Day also we have interactions with the cancer survivors. As I said, we have Freedom from Cancer Club group, I am a survivor group. So we have people 48 hours workshop in the cancer hospital itself. So we advertise and we tell people to come and interact with the survivor. So that is an inspiration for the patients who are newly diagnosed, which is very, very, very important. As you look at the overall incidence of cancer is growing, unfortunately, so high these days. So it's very important for the people to understand that cancer is like any other disease, which can be dealt with and which can be conquered.